Welcome to LiveWire. I'm Ray Tedder, and coming up on LiveWire, we're going to have a great show for you today. We're going to meet Donna Giroux, who's the executive director of Access Sacramento, and we're going to talk about one of their prime programs, which is every year 12 young filmmakers get to make film. Oh, and it's shown in a movie house, and it's really great. It's called A Place Called Sacramento. So there's always a bit of Sacramento in every one of those movies. So stay tuned for LiveWire. You're going to meet one of the filmmakers too, named Kimberly Spears. Right after this important message. So welcome to LiveWire. I'm Ray Tatter, and we're here every Wednesday. I gotta take my mask off. That's good. I could do that. There's nobody out here, actually. We're doing this by kind of like circumlocation. You know, somebody's over there and somebody's over there and somebody's. And anyway, it works. And with me here in the studio is Donna Giroux. She is the executive director of Access Sacramento. Hi, Donna. You're actually in a different part of the building, aren't you?
I am. We're in the same building. But we're trying to be very careful because we had a recent COVID situation here in the office.
Oh, bad.
And so, so we want to make sure that everyone on our crew is safe.
Yes, and I think everybody needs to do that so we can get rid of this thing because it'll run away if it can't get anybody. You know, hopefully.
That'd be great.
Send another brother or sister over to do more damage.
It would make my job a lot easier because we do a lot of work prepping for shows and then they disappear because of weird situations.
So let's go over during the non-COVID times the programs because the great programs. I mean, if you compare this across the United States with major cities like Sacramento, they really don't have a program, and this is supported by not only a professional film company, film television company, but it's also supported by the city itself. So it's kind of wonderful blend of the two aspects of what you can do with media. You have radio programming. People can learn how to be on one of the two radio programs, right?
Well, we have one low frequency channel, 96.5, but we have an app that you can put on any mobile device. And so we find that people are writing to our independent producers from Greece and Italy and Central America saying, I love your show. So that it's interesting. They stumble upon it, or the independent producer has relationships and through Facebook or Instagram have started developing followings. So although you might be, if you're in the center of Sacramento and you're tooling around in your car, you can get 96.5. But if you're out in Rancho Cordova, you have to listen to us on either a computer or on your mobile device.
Oh, you go to your website. Can I get it down off of your website?
Yes, you can always go to our website. You can absolutely listen while you're working.
Access Sacramento.
Yeah, and we have some interesting independent producers for radio, and we have an electronic newsletter we put out weekly, and we've been profiling independent producers and what their shows are like. So if you want to sign up for our e-newsletter, you can find out what we're doing.
And there are classes when COVID's not happening, classes in all kinds of media things. And there's program.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's one program, and we're moving towards that topic, which is making films. I mean, very few companies across the United States or city funded projects where you can actually go and learn how to make a film and then have it shown in a movie house.
Yes, we
Tell me
have.
about a place called Sacramento.
So it's interesting because I've managed different film festivals. One of my favorites was called the Halloween-a-thon, where it was thriller movies. They had to be under 5 minutes, so you had to say a lot in 5 minutes.
Oh.
But a place called Sacramento is location specific, which is unique in a film festival. So each one of the films will, of course, have some hint of the locality. So it's more entertaining for the Sacramento County audience to watch a place called Sacramento Film Festival. And it's been so successful. We're now in the 21st year. Actually, it's the 22nd year, but since last year, we couldn't bring the films to fruition. These poor filmmakers who have their scripts have been selected last year, had to produce their films during COVID and keep their crews safe, decide when is the most appropriate time to do it. I mean, these filmmakers are really, I would say, brave filmmakers that have decided to create in a time when it's difficult to create. And so we just got all the films in yesterday. They've all submitted their films. It's a very exciting time for us. We get to see their works. And now it's off to the judges. So this week they're
now it's off to the judges.
Yes, it's off to the judges. Okay. So what happens is the judges, unlike other film festivals, the script writer is already a winner, because out of the dozens of scripts that we receive, only 10 are selected. And this year, actually starting last year, we lost 2 of our filmmaker and crews. One of them, I believe, had a baby. So that's a good reason. It's a good reason to lose. Yeah, sure. And the other one, I think, COVID creates a huge amount of work in some people's lives. So, so we're down to 8 films. So that's easily 80 minutes. It's a good film festival size.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
So what's going to happen is, we're worried about COVID, Delta variant. And so we've rented the Crest Theater, which seats over 900 people, but we're only selling 200 tickets. So if you have been living under a rock for the last year and a half and want to get out to do something, this is the perfect event because it's general seating. So you can sit anywhere and you can distance yourself from other people, but get the ticket quickly because we
have a slide. We're going to put up the slide now that you're talking about that. So there it is. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the easiest, so you can buy a ticket through us, and for a little more money, you can buy it through the Crest Theater website. We're posted there through Eventbrite. But I would try our front. I would just call our office and see if they can reserve a ticket for you, because
that's good.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be unusual. It's going to be an unusual year.
Well, it points towards another year when possibly we'll be out of this situation.
Right.
It's not funny anymore to a lot of people.
No, but we are asking that if anyone comes, they have to wear a mask.
I got it. Right?
And this is my new mask. So because we're obviously not going to make, we're a nonprofit and we have to make money through alternative sources in order to support our classes. So we've made this custom mask. So if you donate $25 or more, you can get this super cool mask from us. Right? Isn't that very nice?
Handmade.
It's got a little pocket for your filter.
You could donate more money. We won't say a dollar amount. We'll just say donate as much as you want over $25.
I like that slip. That was good. So we're trying to keep it together. Our class sizes have gone very small. We used to have like 12 people in a class, and if we have 3 in a class, that's sort of the limit, because we want to make sure that we have to be physically very close in the studio, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
We're going at a turtle pace right now.
That's right. Okay, so all that's very good, and the filmmakers during the pandemic. I don't know how they made films.
With great difficulty. They had COVID compliant, everyone had to get tested. Some people then worked in a rush, and others decided to stay as like a small pod of people where they wouldn't interact with anyone until they were finished. Yeah, it's challenging.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, but it is happening, and I think that that's the important thing, is that it is happening. We're kind of continuously pushing our culture. There's plays opening in theaters, and they're doing seating plans like the one that you have. They have boxes of masks, that you recognize that, right at the handy for anybody that goes, oops, I forgot my mask.
Yeah.
But here's one for you. Just take it out of the plastic.
Or you can make a donation. No,
that's for Access Sacramento. Absolutely.
Sorry.
Absolutely. So good. And so October the 1st is a big day. And
it's unusual because traditionally we've done a Saturday night premiere, but since the management and the Crest is new, they blocked something out and instead of us, so we're now a Friday night. So it's a hot Friday night in downtown Sacramento.
Okay, well that can happen. It can happen at any theater company, even a couple I know, and so. But it's very interesting. So, all right, we want Access Sacramento to survive and go and continue doing what it's doing, and we thank you, Donna Giroux, for being the executive director and having patience with everybody.
And Ray, thank you so much for being a host for all these years. You're an adorable host for our LiveWire.
Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun, and I could tell you, I've met a lot of people who do wonderful things like today's interviews with the guys who were very specially involved in a search and rescue plan in a disaster, and they were here, and I almost broke into tears, when they were describing what they had to do. But they did it and saved lives.
I think local media is super important because it captures all those stories and those organizations that are right in your neighborhood, and you might not really know about them.
That's right. And characters and people who are part of our community who have real stories to tell. I think there's so many fabulous stories. I was once at a luncheon in a retirement center, and I'm sitting next to a lady, and I said, "So, what did you do before your retirement?" And she said, "I was the secretary to Eleanor Roosevelt." I went, "Oh." Here in Sacramento, cool, right? I thought, here she is in Sacramento, and she'd been with like one of the most famous women of the 20th century.
Right? That'd be an interesting conversation.
Yes. And I told this story once to a writer, and he said, "Why didn't you just say, look, can I do an interview?" Yeah. Oh, well, that's what this is for. Yes. When we catch people like that, we drag them onto TV and we ask them silly questions.
Yeah, we do. Okay. We do.
Donna Giroux, thank you so much. We're going to take a pause for the cause, and we'll be back and after some important messages. Here we go. Poof.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
When you want to talk, I'm here.
We're back with LiveWire. I'm Ray Tatter, and we have one of the wonderful people who made these films, one of the films here in the electronic studio, and her name is Kimberly Spears, and she's from Sacramento right now, but she did a play called Transplanted. Hi, Kimberly, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Ray?
Hanging in, doing good things for good people. Know any? So you were walking down the street one day and you think, I think I'm going to make one of those Access Sacramento films, and I'm going to do it about what?
About transplanting from one city to another. Why not?
Why not? Sure. I mean, there's probably a lot of films made about that, but you had your own ideas, right?
Well, it was originally the idea came from another filmmaker, Elizabeth Bynum. She actually wrote the screenplay and submitted it to Access Sacramento, and she requested that I co-direct with her. And so together we created this film with some great actors and actresses and a fabulous crew. And her ideas made for a great film, and we had fun making it.
Good. Can we watch just a little snap of it?
Yeah, for sure.
Little snip snap. Okay. This is a trailer for Transplanted.
Yes.
You ever miss this place?
Miss this place?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I want to try something.
What?
Wow. Okay. I loved it, and I love the scenes. I don't know how
Yeah.
you did that wonderful that's high scene where you come down. Must have
Yeah.
used some kind of
It was a drone. It was a
Drone.
drone, yeah, with a camera that was able to get as high as the building and capture that entrance to that scene, and it came out fabulous.
Sure
Our
did.
drone pilot was great.
Yeah. So at any rate, as you work the film, I'm really interested to talk to people who make films, because they get creative while they're working on the film, and they think, "Oh, that drone thing worked. You know, it worked so well. Maybe we need to have a kind of a continuity." And so, did you find that was you've been working with the actors? You find out, oh, this actor has a series of kind of like facial qualities or movement qualities that I want to get a little bit more out of. And so as a director, you reach into their sphere of activity and you say, can't you just turn like you just did again? Yes, yes. And it makes a kind of psychological statement, and that adds to the verity of the play, the
It
stage.
does. It really does. As far as the drone, the drone, we wanted to capture the essence of Shriners Hospital, because that was the part of the film that was the most important, because it was the reason why these two parents had to constantly transfer from the Bay Area to Sacramento to visit their daughter, who was in that hospital recovering from her injury. So we wanted to capture the hospital, and if you've been by the hospital, which I'm sure anyone that lives in Sacramento has, you would notice that the windows are really high. And so we really want to capture, getting into that hospital room the best way we can, in the most creative way. So We thought of the drone and tried it out, and it worked. And we're really glad we did it because it really gave a nice beginning to this type of film,
Kind of a
and what
rich
the story was
picture,
about
drew you into.
to, yeah, what was going to open up
Absolutely.
in the story. Yeah.
Gosh, Kimberly, that's great. And I wish you well. And it's going to look great on the big screen.
I hope so.
I hope so. That's wonderful. I go to those events almost every time and see the films. And I can tell you that that's a big screen. It does things to
It does.
smiling
It
faces
does.
and things like that. You just, yes, 30 feet high.
Yeah, for sure.
Good, good, good. Well, I'm really interested in the idea of filmmaking. Is that something that's you like? Is that your way of communicating ideas and artistic stories?
Yeah, I think showing stories through a visual medium
Mhm.
is the best way to make an impact on a message that you're trying to share with the world. And the best way is to do it through film. It has so many great benefits. I mean, you get to meet, quite a few like-minded people. You get to work with many different artists. And you get to see everyone's talents, including your own, that plays into bringing words off of a page onto a screen.
Yeah.
And it's the most rewarding thing a filmmaker can experience is seeing
Yeah.
something that was just thought up in the brain, and now you see, important, talented people bring it to life.
Ah, yes.
And
And
then you
doing
plant a
it.
seed as well.
I'm sorry, what?
And then you plant a seed with your message as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So good, good. You plan to move ahead in that kind of direction personally?
Yeah, for sure. I have a couple projects that I am working on right now. And since I've been working with a place called Sacramento for the last few years, and it has really opened up my experience as far as working on film sets and things. So I've been working on quite a few films in the last few years, and the fire's still there. So I'm going to
Good.
continue to pursue it. Yeah.
That's good.
for sure.
You know, Sacramento is through the festival, like a place called Sacramento, has really developed a lot of people who are now all over the United States making
Yes.
films. It's been really fabulous, experience for them, and
Mhm.
some of them are just on fire, as you say,
Yeah.
with making films and communicating stories, and all some of them are in news. Some of them go on to local television. At one time, I think we counted that every local television station had two or three of Sacramento's uh, people who had worked at Access Sacramento at one time
Mhm.
or another on their staff. You know,
Oh, nice.
either standing in front of a camera or somewhere behind a desk making television work. I
Yeah.
find it a fantastic service to the
Yes.
community, and which doesn't exist in places like Hollywood, Whittier, or any of the Southern California communities. I don't know for what reason they just they didn't have snappy talkers like Mr. Cooper, who talked the city into being so supportive, and also the cable provider, which said, yes, that sounds like a great idea, and
Yeah.
access to filmmaking, and access to television making, and access to radio making. So
Yeah.
we were
For
just
sure.
talking with Donna Giroux about that. So that's it there. Save the date. Go to see this. There are
Yes.
limited tickets.
Limited
Uh,
tickets.
So, and it's on October 1st, which is coming up, and it's at
Yeah.
the Crest Theater. You
Yes,
can wear a mask and enjoy good film. And
Yes.
especially, there's this one woman named Kimberly Spears. She made a film. And what's it called again?
It's called Transplanted, and definitely want to give a shout out to Elizabeth Bynum for creating the idea and writing the story and being a huge part of the reason why I'm here to represent the movie. So
That's right. I guess the last thing you could say is all of those thank yous is a way of saying that filmmaking isn't a solo thing.
It is not a solo thing. We have a list of people I could sit here and thank, but we don't have time. But I thank them. They know who they are. If they're watching this, we all put in our sweat, and even through COVID, we did our thing and created a film. And you guys are going to enjoy it when you come to the Crest and see it on October 1st.
I can't gainsay that. Thank you so much for being on Access Sacramento with Ray Tatter. We'll
Thank
see
you
you
so
later.
much.
Okay, folks, that's all the time we have. We're going to wrap it up now. Remember, Access Sacramento has LiveWire every Wednesday. We talk with people like Kimberly Spears and enjoy a whole bevy of people from around the community sharing their lives, sharing their work and what they do, their creative lives, and it's a real good way to get information about your neighbors. See you next week on LiveWire.